Here we are at the world's fastest half mile, the Coliseum in Bristol, Tennessee. For the Food Save 500, we go from the half mile paper to the half mile Coliseum in Tennessee. And starting on poles, the 1 of Emmett Juckham, 2 is outside, the 92 Tim Randolph. Then 30 of Joe Jefferson, 4th Colton Young, running out the top 5, Kyle Perry. 2 is outside, and 60 of Jeff Bright, 7th Jake Galloway, Lawrence Palempon, 8th, 9th Eli Bright, and Diamond Dewitt running out the top 10. Then for the rest of the field, we got Carson Bowers, who's outside, Grayson Thompson. Then I got Griffin Lynn and Derek Hamill. Luke Rainey trying to go 3 in a row in this spring Bristol race. 2's outside the 56 of Stuart Gratton. Then you got Riley Burlington and Justin Heath, along with Steve Morgan and Alexander Rowe. Then Michael Gregory and Cole Luigi. Then Brandon Tharp and Trey Rainey, along with William Seaman and Luigi Octavo. Then Alex Stewart and Jonathan Beeford, Max Anderson and Justin Zeidel, Isaac Nichols and Michael Canto, Andrew Miller and Steve Larker. Jonathan Ranger points there starting way back here, and Diego Yepes in the A7. They got Jay Jefferson and Marcus Sachi, Carter Friesen and Nathan Stapleton. Running out the field, got Levi Shones and TJ Hanley on the final row here, starting 41st and 42nd. Emmett Juckham on pole up front. He leads to the green flag. Let's go get the starting command.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Take a nice deep breath, buddy. Settle in, relax. Give your seatbelt a slow tug and tug on your steering wheel one more time for me. Good luck, bud. We'll see you at the end of this deal.
And the cars fire up and roll off here at Bristol. For 75 laps, the pace car will head to pit road. 75 laps around this half mile Bristol Motor Speedway. They come to the restart zone. We're racing at Bristol. Green flag for Emmett Juckham. They race off of 2 down the backstretch. Joe Jefferson grabs 2nd, Kyle Perry up to 3rd. As they race through 3 and 4, lap 1 can be led by Emmett Juckham as the 92 of Tim Randolph gets into the wall. Now they're 3 wide entering turn number 1. This is really dangerous. 3 wide. Most of the time doesn't work. And behind them, they're also 3 wide. Lawrence Palempon trying to force Diamond Dewitt down. Jeff Bright gets down to the inside. And it's a wild mess inside the top 10. Trying to get any position you can. They're still 3 wide. Do they sort out right here? Tim Randolph has Jeff Bright behind Diamond Dewitt to his inside. So far, they're able to settle it out for now. As we look back up to the front 6 kind of clear and pull away. Emmett Juckham leading. Joe Jefferson to 2nd. Kyle Perry to 3rd. And Colton Hill and Kyle Perry, they had their differences, and somehow they always find themselves next to each other on the track. Yo trying to go for that 4th position to get himself behind the 47. This would be the place to do at Bristol. A half mile short track. Definitely get your payback here. Luke Rainey already up inside the top 10. There's a car on the apron. As some cars get into the wall, there was a car coming down pit road. It looked like it might have been the 71 of Alexander Rowe. It is the 71 to pit road with an issue from the 15th position. So Alexander Rowe will lose a lap definitely here, maybe even more, as he's getting around to the front stretch where I believe his pit stall is at. So Alexander Rowe, tough break here. He's going to have to somehow try and recover from that as he has hit his pit stall. As Carson Bowers now stuck up top. Tim Randolph from the 92 to the bottom. That's for 11th. Lawrence Palempon, Jeff Bright, Cole Luigi up to 15th. They got some others trying to feel their way out. Diego Yepes up into the wall in the A7. There's Jonathan Ranger, points leader, going underneath 2nd in points. Brandon Tharp. So there is some debris getting out on this racetrack from cars hitting the wall. Spread hasn't been a yellow for that yet. As the looked like the 6 of William Seaman hardened to the wall up there inside the top 20. Pretty hard racing all throughout the field. The 42 almost up into the wall from the 15th position. A car coming down pit road. The 21 of Carson Bowers we're hearing, he thinks he has a tire rub. He's been to the wall a few times. So big issues to some drivers here. As meanwhile up front, it's all Emmett Juckham and Joe Jefferson. They do have the 71 ahead of Alexander Rowe. The 21 going to lose a lap as well. I believe the 71 is only 1 lap down at this point. Yes, Alexander Rowe only 1 lap down. Trying to keep it only 1 down as Jake Galloway has pressure from Colton Young, the 15. It looks like his car's just a little bit faster, but he has to try and get by that 11. As you can see, that's 3 Toyotas right there. The 47, the 11, and the 15, 5th, 4th, and 3rd. Meanwhile, 2 Chevrolets lead, and then another behind these 3. So the front 6 made up of 3 Chevys and 3 Toyotas, no Fords or Dodges. Up here, as we saw, some debris, some cars in the wall. The 21 will leave pit road, but I believe he's going to be 2 laps down now, or just 1 down, as Brandon Tharp has made his way back to the 39th position, the 40th position now, as I believe a car is on pit road again. The 5 of Jeff Bright coming down pit road. So some issues, some drivers here, as a lot of them hitting pit road. Wow, the 29 Reigns, your points there very sideways off that corner. Somehow was able to control it, but they're still 3 wide. And it's Rains up top, back into the wall. And some drivers are coming down pit road. Is that the 5 still on pit road? I believe it is. Can't get to him. Yeah, it's Jeff right on pit road. So 3 drivers have now come down pit road with issues. The 21 is a few laps down. 3 laps down. The 71 is 1 down, but he has the lead right behind him. And now the 5 is 2 down as of now. But Juckham stuck in lap traffic as the 39 bearing down his neck. And Joe Jefferson will move to the inside 3 and 4 for the race lead. And Joe Jefferson will clear the 1 of Emmett Juckham to get to the race lead. Joe Jefferson out front here at Bristol due to lap traffic. Now he has to hope the same thing doesn't happen to him, trying to get around some of these drivers. Jonathan Ranger points leader yields out of the way. So there's a big mess. Surprisingly, there's not been a caution yet. As from what we saw, I thought there was going to be one. As both those drivers clear Jonathan Rains. Now Kyle Perry in third, going to try and get by the 9 and the 29. Jake Galloway and Colton Yo, then Eli Bright Diamond do it. Griffin Lynn, Luke Rainey, and rounding out the top 10 got Riley Sprigley in the number 7. See, these guys are breathing down each other's necks as Emmett Juckham and Joe Jefferson in sync gain around some of these lap cars. William Seaman way up the track. That 6 car does not look like it's handling well. He's back into the wall as Juckham right back onto the back bumper of the 39, Joe Jefferson. Alexander Rowe trying to get away in all this as he's trying to keep his 1 lap down. The 5 is 3 laps down. The 21 is also 3 laps down. The 71, 1 lap down due to pit stop. And then the 9, the 6, and the 29 have all lost their laps to the race leader on the racetrack. See the 1 bearing down the 39. As back here, Eli Bright has been stuck up top in the 88. And drivers are going to try and filter their way by him. He got stuck by William Seaman. And the 36 and the 22 go by. The 2 of Luke Rainey going to get to the inside there. Carson Bowers going to make it 3 wide, maybe. As the 2 makes his way through the middle, and it works for him. He's going to clear the 21. As Bowers, remember, on some fresher tires, he came down pit road and lost some laps. The 88 still stuck up top. He might fall outside the top 10 right here. He's back to the 10th position. He has the 92 and the 32 behind him, but he can get down behind that 32. There's a huge hole behind him. Joe Jefferson trying to gap the 1, as there's not really any lap traffic ahead for them to worry about. Andrew Miller at the track in the 31. Could be the next lap car they're going to catch. The 71 is there. Look at the 1 of Emmett Juckham holding that bottom lane. Gets right to the back of the 39, trying to look for a way around. But Joe Jefferson trying to keep it down to the bottom lanes. We've got 50 laps to go this time. Andrew Miller up the track. Joe Jefferson will move around him. Put the 31 a lap down. 31 to the wall. The 39 gets by. The 1 gets by. Jonathan Rains will get a spot from his teammate Andrew Miller. As Miller stuck up top and fading. The 9 of Justin Heath will go around him. Now Kyle Perry and Jake Galloway going to try and get by him. The 47 and the 11. They got the 15 of Colton Yo back there in 5th. 6th is now Donovan Dewitt. Griffin left to 7th. And I believe it's Luke Rainey in 8th. Riley Sprigley to 9th. Tim Randolph in 10th. Eli Bright. And that whole ordeal went back to the 12th position in his number 88 Chevrolet. Look at Joe Jefferson. They race off of 2 down the backstretch. It's not been a season he's wanted. After winning a few races and making the chase last season, had high hopes for this season. It's been a lackluster season thus far. We're only about 5 races in, though. Looking to turn around here at Bristol with the victory right now, leading the 1 of Emmett Juckham, your pole sitter. And Juckham has not been able to get close ever since they've gotten out of that lap traffic. The 39 was getting pressure, but once they got out of the lap traffic, the 39 kind of pulled away, showing that clean air really helps here at Bristol. No battles really inside the top 10, as everyone holding calm for now. The 5 of Jeff Bright right now in the last position. The 56, the 33 just outside the top 10. The 38, the 83, the 09, the 42, the 30, and others. You can see this filtering around the racetrack. And let's see how fast a lap here is at Bristol as we will go the flyby camera off of turn number 2. Just look at how fast a lap here at Bristol is. The 39 goes past right there. And wait for him to come back around. It's not going to take that long. 14 is Shones up the track. And the 39 already back around. There he is with the 1 right behind him still. Oh, Andrew Miller up the track. Your lap car. Luke Rainey trying to get underneath him. Rainey running in the 8th position. You can see a lot of action here happening off of turn number 2. What a great camera angle this is. And now the 1 of Juckham has kind of caught the 39 just a little bit. trying to get on by him. That lap was a lot faster than the 39, about a tenth. But the 1 goes up the track, and that's going to lose some ground right there. Lost all the ground he made up. 39 was catching this lap traffic. They're coming to 40 laps to go. There should be pit stops, whether it's under green or yellow. And does that kind of help the 5 or some of the others that pitted and lost some laps? Do they maybe have enough fuel to make it to the end? And they pitted and got it out of the way, and now they won't have to pit again. It'll be very interesting to see if it happens under green, if that something like that does happen. 27 up the track, Nathan Stapleton. Brandon Tharp trying to get by him. That's for the 34th position. Tharp second in points. Trying to gain points on your points leader, Jonathan Rains, who's back in the 36th position. Not the day he's wanted. Third on back pretty stabilized. Griffin Lynn up to the 6th position. Look underneath Colton Yo for a top 5 right here. Yo up the track. Griffin Lynn's going to try and take advantage of that as they race side by side down the backstretch. And Griffin Lynn's going to grab the 5th position right here from Colton Yo. The 36 on the charge forward. Griffin Lynn gets to 5th. And they got teammates back here 7th and 8th. Luke Ray chasing down his teammate Donovan Dewitt. Messed up turn 1 just a little bit right there. Goes up the track. Luckily, the 21 not close enough to take advantage of their 21 of Carson Bowers, of course, is a lap down. Or 3 laps down, I believe. No real battles up towards the front. So that was really the only battle. Look at Jake Galloway trying to get by Kyle Perry right here. Got a little tight off the corner, though, and could not capitalize right there. So we got 35 laps to go as they got past the 71 and the 27. Joe Jefferson continuing to lead. And their next car up is Brandon Tharp in the 24, second in points. As Joe Jefferson, Emmett Juckham have pulled away 1-2. Right now ahead of third place by over 2 seconds. But if they start getting to battling, which I believe Juckham just a little bit faster last lap, right to the back bumper, the 39. They're racing down the backstretch into turn number 3. Juckham up the track once again. Race off of turn number 4. Juckham, a great run down the front stretch. Looking, stalking the 39, waiting for a mistake. They race down the backstretch, nose to tail. And my, oh my, that one has been chasing down that 39. Joe Jefferson does go up the track a little bit right there. Juckham going to try and take advantage. He gets a good run off the corner. Could not get side by side with them, though, as they're racing into turn number 3 now. 31 laps to go. The 24 and the 48 can be battling up their lap cars and teammates. Both cars are up the track that time, pretty much similar lanes. Nichols trying to keep his position as Juckham used a higher lane right there. That might hurt him. The 71 might get to his inside. You can't let a lap car get to your inside if you're one of the leaders. Joe Jefferson now is getting stuck here by the 24 and the 48. Luckily, he gets around Nichols fairly easily, but now Tharp might give him a hard time. Tharp does not want to go a lap down here. He just got a position from his teammate up to the 33rd position for Brandon Tharp in the 24. Joe Jefferson up the track, Emmett Juckham to the inside for the race lead. Down the backstretch, Juckham takes the race lead back in the number 1. And now Joe Jefferson, he made a mistake. He has to stay calm here. He has to think, where did I make that mistake? Don't make it again. Wait for that one car to make a mistake now in lap traffic. Because third place is pretty far back. Third has gained a 10th in the last few laps. Not enough to really close in on these guys. Now Juckham makes that mistake in turn 1. Joe Jefferson has to capitalize right here and get closer. Not enough to get to the inside though, but he does close in on the 1. These two going to be in a big battle towards the end. Coming down to 26 laps to go. It's getting down to the wire here at Bristol. Joe Jefferson up the track at 1 and 2. They're side by side in front of him. Brandon Tharp going to try and get a position from Diego Yepes in the 87. Yepes won last race at Martinsville. Not the luck here today, as Tharp will move around for the 32nd position. Yepes going to get lapped by the 1 of Emmett Juckham. Remember, Juckham started on pole. The car's going down pit road once again, I believe. That was just the inside wall. Now it's the 18 of Trey Rainey down pit road. Possibly starting some green flag pit cycles that are an issue on the 18. As Joe Jefferson has a chance to get to the inside right here. Couldn't get done. That 1 leaving that bottom open a lot of times here is Diego Yepes falling even more positions. Nathan Stapleton will get by him. Nichols goes to the high side. Who's it going to be? Juckham, Jefferson. 1-2 with less than 25 laps to go. Coming around to see 20 to go in a few laps. See the battle for third and back on. Kyle Perry has third. No real contest within the top 5. Luke Ray's gotten around his teammate for 7th. Donovan Dewitt is nowhere to be found as I don't know where he's gone, actually. He's back to the 12th position. Must have gotten stuck on the high side. And my, oh my, you get stuck on the high side. You lose so many positions if people are there to capitalize. I don't know if he got into the wall or what. Rainey was pretty far ahead of the others. Jockeying has kind of stretched that gap just a little bit to Joe Jefferson. As they see 20 laps to go this time by, Tharp up to the 31st position, trying to capitalize on Rains having a bad day in the 29. Rains back behind him in the 36th position. Not much difference there, but every point matters in the Gatorade Cup Series. And look at Alexander Rowe. He's pressuring Joe Jefferson. Rowe is a lap car, 19 laps to go now. There's Jockeying. As you can see right here, there's only 31 cars on the lead lap. Tharp, and then you got Gregory up ahead, Octavo, Zidell, Shones, Morgan, Jefferson. It's the 18 of Trey Rainey finally out pit road, but multiple laps down that number 18. Not the season. Trey Rainey's one. He's 6 laps down. There's apparently an issue on that 18 car, a big one at that, as Rainey will be 42nd as of now, unless a crash happens. He's pretty much out. Another car down pit road. It's the 42 of Koluigi, and there's multiple of the 22 down Dude that is starting pit cycles right now. So it will be pit cycles. Emmett Jockeying has hit pit road as well. That hands the lead over to the 39 Joe Jefferson. There's the 22 on pit road. There's Jefferson. He has the race lead now, and a caution could change the whole complexity of this race now. It's Joe Jefferson, a late entry into pit road. How about the 47 others? 47 has stayed out on track. Kyle Perry will have the race lead. The 11 Jake Galloway in second. Now it's going to come down to, does a caution come out? Does something like that happen that would bring out a yellow flag? Here come your leaders down pit road. Colton Yost sliding to pit road. Anyone on the lead lap staying out? The 4? Jonathan Buford has stayed out on track. I don't know if that's a strategy call or what. If he just can't get down pit road because some drivers are there on the inside, he's going to have to probably come down this time. Less than 15 laps to go. Here comes the 4, Jonathan Buford to pit road. Now where does Jockeying and Joe Jefferson come out in this? Here's Jockeying in the 1. Where's Joe Jefferson in the 39? There's Joe Jefferson leaving pit road with a huge gap on the 1. Yeah, that's a pretty big gap, I think. Now, does someone have a better pit stop? Maybe Jockeying was just a little bit slower. We'll have to see where everyone cycles out in all this. Joe Jefferson is ahead of the 1 of Emmett Jockeying. Tharp sideways off of pit road. He might have made some contact there. Let's hope Morgan, oh, car stopped on track. It's Carson Bowers. And the caution has come out with 13 laps to go. And Joe Jefferson out front. Griffin Lynn in the 36 is now... Oh! Zidell and Stapleton hit hard coming off of pit road. And this will change the whole complexity of this race, as a caution comes out for the 21 stopped on track. Currently, there are 21 cars being scored on the lead lap. That's as of now. They're waiting to see what's happening here. Now it's less than that, but I don't know if those guys deserve their laps back. It's now 19 cars on the lead lap, but possibly even more, as I believe some were stuck back there. So some guys really hurt because of this. Some are helped. And it's pretty crazy as the 21 Carson Bowers possibly runs out of fuel. He was just stopped on the apron. And now Joe Jefferson is going to have a whole bunch of lap cars in between him and the 36. However, we saw this in the night race last season. The 30 TJ Hanley had lap cars in between he and the 18 of Kevin Bandon. And I believe it was the 99 car Friesen was the one that moved to the inside, and Hanley ended up losing the race to the second place man. So if we see someone jump to the inside of the 39 and the 36 possibly could take advantage of it, who knows what could happen. Or if some of these guys get stuck up top, does anyone back here have a chance to try and make it up? There are so many cars now laps down because of this, as it happened right in the middle or towards the end of pit cycles. So let's see what brought this caution. The 21 of Carson Bowers stopped on track. They'll bring out the yellow flag and really change this race. So here's Carson Bowers coming off of turn number 2. It looks like the car has quit there already. And coasting now down the apron and just does not have the speed to get back. I don't know if he ran out of fuel or if there was something majorly wrong in the car. I'm guessing he ran out of fuel and he just pushed it way too far. But we don't know. He stopped on track. The caution comes out. He races a huge lead Joe Jefferson had. And let's see right here. Enters turn 1. Happens right there off of 2. I really don't know what happened there. I believe he might have possibly run out of fuel. That's another bad break for the 21 team. Had a bad break at Martinsville where they blew up, and now here at Bristol they run out of fuel. And hands Joe Jefferson a restart with the race lead. Some lap cars behind him. It'll be interesting as Joe Jefferson led them back to the stripe. He leads back to the green flag as well. Joe Jefferson trying to hang on to win. I believe we're actually going green this time. Yes, he is. As I don't believe any cars have retired. We still have all 42 cars left in the race. We have 19 on the lead lap. Joe Jefferson out front trying to hold on and win. Griffin Lynn is in second, but he's a lot back. He has 5 lap cars, I believe, in between he and Griffin Lynn. Then Emmett Druckham, Kyle Perry, Jake Galloway, Luke Rainey, Colton Yo, Riley Sprayletube, Lawrence Palapana, and Eli Bright in the top 10 as they come off of 4 to see the restart. Green flag back out for Joe Jefferson. Only got about 8 laps to go here. Jefferson up the track. Does Steve Morgan and some others take advantage of that, try to get their laps back? Morgan peeking low into 3. He backed off there. I don't think he wants to make a move. Jeff Bright moves out of the way. Kyle Perry up the track. I believe the 2 of Luke Rainey also up the track. Yes, he is. 83 down to the apron, Max Anderson. 20 of Justin Zidell moved up the track. Some cars on pit road. Joe Jefferson, meanwhile, out front. He sees 6 laps to go at Bristol. And now it's really spread out. If Joe Jefferson gets stuck on the outside, I don't believe the 36 Griffin Lynn can run him down. Emmett Druckham up to 3rd. Jake Galloway now to 4th. Kyle Perry back to 5th. 6th place is now Colton Yo. And 7th is, I don't even know, I think it's Riley Sprayletube at this point. We now see 5 laps to go. Joe Jefferson out front, leading the train around Bristol. And it's all lap cars behind him. He has a just over 1 second advantage over Griffin Lynn. I don't believe that's going to close unless something big happens to the 39. Yepes out of pit road. The 39 might get stuck up top right here. Yepes, though, loose on the bottom, down to the apron, trying to control the car as there is a crash on the front stretch, and that will end the race under yellow. It's possibly going to be Joe Jefferson to victory lane, as it looks like Michael Gregory went around with 3 laps to go, and that's going to end the race under yellow. Let's check out what happened to the 17. Big crash off of turn number 4. Involves the 4, the 78, the 71, the 17. As John Threeford up the track gets into the wall and comes down, and Jay Jefferson's there. And then gets Michael Gregory as well, and it spins the 17 around. The 4 goes up and collects the 48, and it spins the 4 around. With the 48, the caution ends up coming out, and it's going to end the race under the yellow flag. Joe Jefferson was leading at the time of caution. I'm interested to see how this would change if that wreck didn't happen and the 87 came out pit road right there. You know, would the 39 have been passed by the 36? We'll never know. But pretty big hits for some drivers right there as the 4 and the 48 got connected. 17 spun around. 39 hangs on to win Joe Jefferson. And you see in the white flag one more time around Bristol for the 39. Joe Jefferson just has to hang on for half a mile. Hope nothing happens in the car to win here at Bristol. As it was a wild dash to the finish for some drivers. And Joe Jefferson's going to end up in victory lane as he had an amazing pit stop by his pit crew. Emmett Druckham faded after the pit stops, falls back to 3rd. He had lap cars in between he and Joe Jefferson. And Jefferson will pick up win number 1 on his sophomore campaign in the Gatorade Cup Series. As he rounds turn number 4, Joe Jefferson, the 39, will win here at Bristol. As he comes down the front stretch, Joe Jefferson, the 39, will win at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Food Save 500. And the field coming across, it was one wild, wild finish. Let's go check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Food Save 500 at Bristol. There were 2 caution flags for 8 laps and 6 lead changes among 4 different drivers. Joe Jefferson ends up in victory lane after leading 46 laps the most. Griffin Lynn tried to run him down. Caution comes out. Who knows what would have happened if that caution didn't come out. Lynn ends up 2nd. Emmett Druckham from the pole led 27 laps. He ends up 3rd. Jake Galloway in 4th and Colton Yo 5th. Then Kyle Perry in 6th. The Riley Sprayletube 7th. Stuart Grant 8th. Eli Brighton 9th. And Lawrence Palapana rounding out the top 10. So there's your top 20. As some notables outside the top 10, Luke Rainey in the 2, even though it wasn't the day he was hoping for at Bristol, he is now leading the Gatorade Cup Series points standings by just a few points, but that consistency out of that 2 team has gotten them to the points lead for now. As all these guys didn't actually finish lap down. I believe there was 19 cars on the lead lap at the end of this race. So look down 21st and 40th. Some drivers down here not having days they were hoping for. As you can see right there, some drivers actually finished below the 18, so they were the 09, the A7. Diego Yepes 5 laps down, Michael Canto 6 laps down, Trey Rainey 5 laps down as well. So many drivers kind of going laps down after having some bad race cars or just having something go wrong during the green flag run. They had come down pit road under the green flag and lost some laps. Now let's go look at the point standings. Here are the point standings after Bristol, and after Reigns and Tharp having their misfortunes. Luke Grant capitalizes and gets to the points lead by only 6 points over Reigns, but it's still the points lead. Reigns again only 6 points back in the second position in points. Stuart Gratton is third, Brandon Tharp in fourth, and Jeff Bright in fifth. They got Luigi Octavo in sixth, seventh, Riley Spraylytube, Kyle Perry eighth, Tim Randolph ninth, and Colton Yo rounding out the top 10. So there's your top 20. And some notables. Code Luigi has fallen outside the top 10. Last season's champion does not have a top 5 yet. This season he has 3 top 10s, though. Falls to 13th of the point standings. Jay Jefferson was 10th. He falls to 14th. Yepes, after winning at Martinsville, has fallen to 17th. He had a horrible day here at Bristol. Some others also falling points-wise. Some others try to make their way up. Eli Bright finished in the top 10. Joe Jefferson was a victory up to 28th in the points. Some drivers scratching, clawing their ways out of the bomb in the points after having some terrible starts to the seasons for some of these drivers. Andrew Miller still trying to find his way out of that hole that he had his way in at the beginning of the season. He's 60 points back behind Trey Rainey, and Rainey's not had a great season either. So Seaman as well has not had a great season. Some of these drivers really need some luck their way. As the next race will be at Kansas for the 5-Hour Energy 400 under the daytime sun. See you guys then.